This is The Roman Show.
Jim, tough way to end the fight tonight. Back and forth first round. Can you take us through what happened in the finishing sequence?
To be honest, I felt like I won the first round. You know, you said it was back and forth, but I felt like I was pushing the pace. And towards the end, I felt like the kicks were just hurting him a lot. And, you know, I kicked him, and he kind of fell into it. I put my hand out because I thought he was coming for a punch. And it did hit him in the eye, but, you know, I guess, you know, that's how it is. I don't know if he wanted to continue or not, but, you know, the doctor called it off, so.
I don't know if you saw it, but he posted a picture. He's in the ambulance going to the hospital to get checked out. Still couldn't open. And he said he knew you didn't do it on purpose. It was an accidental blow. Still doesn't lighten anything up. You guys both end up missing out on a win bonus here. How disappointed are you?
You know, I'm really mad. I've worked really hard for this. You know, went to a new camp, and it sucks that a fight has to end that way. But I know Cole's, you know, he's a good guy. You know, I've trained with him before. We talked back and forth. I mean, you guys saw the weigh-ins. You know, we had a good time. So I know he wouldn't do something like that on purpose. You know, hopefully we can, you know, get back in the cage and, you know, finish this, you know, round 2 and 3 and finish it up.
Your eye was looked at by the doctor pretty closely at the end of the first round. Were you worried that they might actually try and stop it?
Yeah, you know, I definitely felt the headbutt there, and all of a sudden I saw blood. I don't think I've ever seen blood in a fight. So I was like, dang, you know, I can't believe this is happening right now. But, you know, I told him I wanted to continue. I was like, I can see everything's perfect. You know, that's the mentality you have to have. You have to be willing to keep going through the rough times. And after that, he was like, okay, as long as you can see, you can go. So felt good.
Is there any added disappointment, this kind of being your return to Orlando, and you just can't get any type of decision?
Yeah, you know, like I had probably over 300 people here for me. You know, you guys heard the crowd. And I haven't fought in Orlando since 2009 maybe. And I went to school here. My son was born here. So it was good to be back. This is my second home. And I really wanted to win for Orlando, for my city, you know, and it just sucks it ended this way.
Did it feel unusual fighting somebody that you had trained with before?
No, because even though we were at the same gym, ATT is so big that we never really even got to train together. I know there was articles saying that his coaches they never did privates with me. You know, when you're at ATT, you're like a little fish, and you have to work your way up. And you know, I never got the chance to do privates with anybody, so that's kind of why I strayed away from there.
Tell us that opportunity you have with MMA Masters. You went down south.
Yeah. So, what was that? Sorry.
Tell me about training out with the folks out there. Some of the names, Sam and Palomino.
Yeah, with Sam and Palomino, Lamas, those guys are all great. I felt myself get better every single day. You know, from the moment I walked in there, I felt that family feel, and I never felt that at ATT. When I was in Orlando, I had a school like that, and you know, I used to love to train. When I moved down to South Florida and I was at ATT, I didn't feel that. Only at my school at Wagner Rocha. I trained there at night at BJJ, and we have that family feel. And when I went to MMA Masters as well, I had the same feeling. So you have to have that family feel so that you're able to train hard, so that people can push you. And it just motivated me to keep on training. I wanted to be at the gym every day.
Jim, how'd you like seeing yourself on ESPN after that weigh-in?
Man, it was cool. I never thought that I'd be on ESPN. I had people messaging me saying, hey, you're on ESPN, you know, and it's cool to see how far sport's coming along, and that's the kind of mentality you have to have. You have to have fun. If you're not having fun, what's the point of doing this, you know?
Whose idea was the lightsabers?
It was mine. I've been watching Star Wars all week long, you know, trying to prepare to watch this new one. A lot of people have been spoiling it for me. I'm pretty mad. I'm going to go to their gyms and, you know, take care of them, but...
So you haven't seen it yet. This man's been preparing for a fight, so he hasn't actually gotten to go see the new Star Wars yet.
I haven't got to see it. The plan is to go tomorrow, get a nice big thing of popcorn, and, you know, enjoy the movie. I'll probably watch it 2 or 3 times, to be honest.
Yeah. Spend some time with the family. Is your wife ready to just have you at home and be with the family and the kids?
A lot of people think, you know, just when you're fighting, you have all this time in the world. And I leave, you know, I drop my kids off at my mom's early in the morning, and I'm not back at home until they're sleeping, you know. So it's really hard. You know, you don't get to see your kids so much. And I have a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, and you know, they're the joy of my life. And I'm excited to just go spend some time with them. And you know, hopefully I get this fight again. You know, it's a fight that I really want. I think it's a very winnable fight for me, and I'm ready for it.
Now, after Cole Miller, fight doesn't go the way you want it to go. what do you see next for yourself? Do you want to get right back in the gym? Do you want to take some time off? I mean, obviously, you want to keep climbing that ladder, but, it's your body.
I'm a guy who wants to help the people who help me. So there's guys who have fights coming up in a lot of different other promotions. So I'll probably take, the rest of this week off, but I'm going to get back in there. I want to continue to learn and continue to get better and help the guys who were there for me this whole time.
This is The Roman Show.